feels a little better there. Yeah. Oh, that's a lot better fish. Oh my goodness. Come on, son. Oh, that's a good one, folks. That is a good fish. That's what you call a good Apache Lake bass. Come on. Come on in here, son. Did I lose my... I did. I lost my bait, but I got the hook. I guess that's all that matters at this point. There you have it. Folks, today, we're here in the spring. Oh, that's a beautiful fish. Just a gorgeous fish. Look at that. Got out just a skosh deeper. And that's what we're catching right there. Well, that's payback, huh? Today we're at Apache Lake doing what I really love to do this time of year, which is wacky style fishing. Wacky Senkos. I just love it. For years I used to come here as a kid and just crush them on that wacky Senko this time of year, and it's so much fun. It's a slow technique, but man, this time of year when those fish move shallow, you gotta move up with them, and that's what we're gonna do, and see if we can catch some fish. We're here early in the morning, not too early. It's probably 8:30, 9 o'clock. We didn't get out too early, but we've been here. We've caught quite a few little ones, but not really the size we wanted to, so I'm backing out trying to figure out how I'm gonna catch a few of these bigger fish that are waiting to move up. It's still early in the season for this particular lake. What's really crazy about the chain of lakes that we fish in Arizona is you can start in the end of February where they move up and start making nests at Lake Havasu or areas like that. But as you move up towards the White Mountains, the lakes tend to start to spawn a little later, a little later, a little later. This lake, because it gets its water from Roosevelt, from the bottom of the dam, tends to start probably in April, really good. And so that's what time of year we're here. We're gonna see if we can catch him. Got him. Got that one out of the weeds. Oh my goodness. Little buck bass. All right, I see you. I see you. Come here. All right. Not quite as big as that other one, but they're starting to move up. You know what I'm targeting right now? He's just a buck bass. These little guys here, the males, will move up in the shallows first. And a lot of times you can just throw up. You know, I'm targeting areas from 0 to 15 foot of water. And I've got that little nail weight in the Senko there, and it allows it to fall pretty fast and get down there quickly. But in saying that, you gotta target an area when they're spawning or they're getting up shallow this time of year in the spring. I like to get up in the shallow water. And so you wanna find flats. This is the back of a cut. The wind's not blowing so much in here. We got some bulrushes, things like that back in here. Reeds, all kinds of good stuff. And those fish will hide up in there. Got that one, that's a good one. Oh, he's a little better anyway. he's a little bit better, bass. Come on. Maybe I gotta fish out a little deeper here. That's what I'm gonna have to do. That's what I'm gonna have to do. Come on. He's still a little buck bass. Not quite the size we're looking for. We've been traveling around, just dragging that Senko. Get back in there, buddy. You know, if this water came up, and I haven't been here, but I haven't seen a whole lot shallow like I thought I'd see, especially with the water temperature the way it is. But all's not lost. A lot of times this time of year, if they raise the water temperature or the water levels up 3 or 4 feet, however they do it, and these fish have made beds, say, you know, before they raise the water, those beds will be a little bit deeper, so you won't see a whole lot shallow it'll be off, you know, in 4 or 5 foot of water, 6 foot of water, 7 foot of water in that area. So that's what I'm gonna start concentrating on a little bit, just to see if maybe that's the case. Because I haven't been here and I don't know how they're doing it, but that's something to think about for sure. This Wacky rig is so versatile. You know, there's a couple of ways you can fish this. And what makes this such a fun bait to throw is it not only works good in the spring, but it also works good in the summer. Now, if you have to fish bluff walls, you can still throw this bait. Sometimes the bass like the bait falling slow, sometimes they like it going fast, sometimes they just want it on the bottom. That's something you have to experiment by putting those little nail weights in the head. You can get different size nail weights to put in the head. Now, if the bass seem to tend to like you dragging it on the bottom and then they hit it, then that's good. If you throw it out there with it just being weightless and all of a sudden your line just starts taking off, then that's another way. But I'll tell you, one of my most successful times with this rig has been fishing bluff walls like that during the summer. And what happens is the bass will use a lot of those bluff walls for shade. And it's deep water, they feel safe in those areas. And what ends up happening is they get down to that cool water, the bass will move up and down. So you can take this bait, put a little nail weight in it, throw it out there against the bluff and just let your line fall. The ticket to making this bait work good for you, anytime you're throwing it though, is to be sure that you don't tighten your line. So when I throw out there, I like to let my line sit on top of the water. I'll actually raise my rod tip and you can see how I let my line lay on the water, and then I'll engage the reel and just let the line float and let the bait fall directly where I threw it, straight down. You have to be a line watcher when you're doing this kind of fishing, and that'll help you become a better lightweight Senko type fisherman, especially with this Wacky rig. It's really, all my success has been from that, using my line as a bobber, tightening up the line. What always happens when you tighten up the line when you cast out there is the bait is so light, it'll have a tendency to come right back down to you, and you're not letting it fall exactly where you threw it. You want it to fall where you threw it, drop right there, so put slack on the line. And the thing is they'll grab it and they'll run with it. Now here's the trick. Big tip right here. You have to be a line watcher. Don't ever take your eye off the line, because what happens is, and it's happened to me a lot too, is the fish will actually swallow these baits. Then it's hard to get the bait back out of their mouth or down in their gullet. So in saying that, you want to be sure that you watch that line to twitch and start taking off, and then reel down and set the hook. Because if you wait too long, these fish will eat these baits. They got a lot of salt in them, and I'll tell you, it could end up for a nightmare for you. But definitely watch your line. Never take your eye off the line. Got that one. That one don't feel too bad. Oh, he's a little bit better fish. Another little buck bass. Come on. Show yourself. Not a bad fish. Man, I'll tell you, that sun and no wind came out, made it a little bit tougher. Come on, come on. We're gonna have to go find us a big one somewhere. Look at that. You can catch 1,000 of these little guys on that Wacky Senko at certain times of the year, which is right about now. But every so often you get some of those big ones as well. And man, it makes it all worthwhile just dragging it slow, and it's a real fun technique to throw. You know, I like being able to use, one thing that's important about this technique is I like to use some kind of a braid line on my spinning reel that is a real bright colored, so you can see when you're dragging it, you can actually see the fish pop the line, and as it's falling. And you'll just, your bait will be falling, and then all of a sudden it'll stop, or it'll just make a quick jolt, and then it'll move out a little faster. It's kind of like a bobber, but you got to find a line that you can see really well, and that's important. And then I pair that up with about a 10-pound test fluorocarbon leader, and that's the ticket. That way, if you get a big fish on there, you'll be able to get him to the boat quick. another little fish. Like I said, you'll catch a bunch of those little guys around by these rocks and stuff, but man, you never know if a big one might be up there. You want to make sure you're in the neighborhood. Get in here, little dude. Man, it's nice to see Apache Lake with a lot of little ones though. That means they had the largemouth last year had a good spawn, that's for sure. You know, I talk about marrying this line, and the one thing that's important to remember is when I say that, this braid line to fluorocarbon leader, it's right here. And I use an Alberto knot right there. And I'll tie on a 4 or 5 foot leader on there, 6 foot leader. And that way you got plenty of blink line there. They don't see your white line. And that really helps right there. And as you can see, that Alberto knot is a real small knot, so it helps it come through the guides better. That's important. Quality fish today is driving me nuts. There's a fish. That one's not so bad. That one's not, oop. That one's not so bad. There's a little bit better largemouth bass right there. Come on, son. Threw right by this rock over here. Come on. Oh, he probably ate it. Oh, you ate it. He ate it. I let him eat it. That tool is incredible. That little tool right there. That little dude I got at Bass Pro Shops, and man, that'll get that thing in there and you can just twist it. Pops that hook right out of there when they get it deep. All right. Finally, a good, decent little fish anyways. It's been actually tough today. I mean, it really has. We've had some cold fronts blow through, but man, I mean, I'm catching a lot of fish. I'm just not catching the size that I want to catch. Go back on some flats and see if we can't find out, drag a little farther off of them or something. Maybe we can get lucky. I got one on now. Well, he ain't too bad. He's a little better than those little tiny dinks. Man, those little buck bass are up. This is a lot of fun, it really is. You'll catch a lot of fish on this Wacky rig. Those big fish evidently have not quite moved up yet. And what's happening is these males will move up there first. Then the females come. But a lot of times if you get off these little ledges, I'm on a big flat right here, but you can see the water's clear enough. You can see, it's hard to tell with the camera, but you honestly can see a little drop off. The water gets a little darker. It'll show light, and then it'll drop off into dark. So I'm kind of fishing off into the dark area where I caught the first big fish this morning and just dragging it off in there. This isn't a fast technique. You got to drag, let it fall to the bottom, then just kind of drag the bait a little bit with your rod tip. You'll feel them thump it. It'll be coming across the bottom and you'll feel that thump, especially if they don't pick it up on the way down. You're fishing all day for a big fish and this is what you catch. Hey, it's big. Look at that, he tried eating my Senko. Look at that. That's a big carp. Oh, that thing's a brute. It ain't coming in the boat. Got him. I got that one. Oh yeah. There's one. Hello, baby. Oh my goodness. Come here. You are definitely not a carp. He's not a carp, but boy, see, I even missed him. He got it in there a little deep. And you're free. Free to go. I love those little pliers. Oh. We have a lot of weeds that we're on top of right here, and what had happened was that fish was in the bare spots. That's a big tip for you. When you get to where you feel like, oh my gosh, there's a lot of weeds, I don't want to go in there, remember that the edges, especially this time of year, the fish like to use the edges. So the weed line will come out, but then you'll have a little edge. Put your boat in on top of the weeds and just look on the inner side. If you find that, a lot of times you'll find fish roaming up and down there like a path. And you can throw your Senko right out there along this weed line on the other side and catch fish. Most people would fish the outside of this weed line and not bother to come in this close because they think it's full of weeds. Got it. I got it. Oh! On that Senko. Come on, baby. That's a Senko bass. Oh my goodness. Come on, baby. Oh yeah, that is a giant. Come on. Oh my goodness, there's about a 4 or 5, there's a couple of 4 or 5 pounders down there looking at her. Oh, I might have found the spot. Oh my goodness. Come here. Ah, look at that fish. Beautiful, just beautiful. Little Apache Lake bass right there. Oh my goodness. Folks, I'm telling you what, man, hard to beat a Wacky Senko in this lake. It really is, man. This lake is just prime for it. Just prime for it. You know, there was a 4 or 5 pounder down there that came up and looked at that fish. Could not believe it. These weeds in here, they're hanging on the edges. We can't see them, but they're down there. I just came across a real nice fish. Threw my Senko out, but it's hard for me to see because of the depth. So I'm gonna grab a bait. I think I can see, maybe catch this fish. Got her. All right, come on, baby. Come on, get in here. Get in here. Oh my goodness. Look at that. I got you. I got you. Oh my goodness, we'll put you back. Look at that. It's a little female. Beautiful fish. What had happened was I got behind these weeds up on the shoreline where you can see how far we are off, and they're just right at the bottom base of that weed line. Now, my Senko didn't get the job done. It caught the little male, but it didn't catch the female. And I'm like, I saw a big fish in there. I wanted to make sure I could catch it. I'll tell you what, I've had a great day on the show today. Grab some Wacky Senkos. You'll have a lot of fun. You're gonna catch fish of all sizes on those things. And it's a perfect time of year to get out and do it. April, May, March, that is fun in the shallows. Flats. And then as you get into the summer months, get off on the points, get off on the bluffs. You can keep throwing that same technique and catch fish on it and have a lot of fun. Thanks for joining us on the water. We'll see you next week. I'm Johnny Johnson. Now, see, that's what I'm talking about, folks.